The Lions just pulled off a front office move so clean, it's going to make half the league check their calculators twice. And if you blink, you'll miss why this changes our next 4 seasons. Welcome back to Lions News Fan Report. And if you ride with this team the way we do hard on the sleeve, Sundays blocked, off, tap, subscribe, drop a like, and keep those notifications on. Because this is the kind of cap magic that wins in December and still pays off in January. Here's the deal in plain English, the way we'd explain it at the bar. Detroit didn't just extend a young home run receiver. They built a contract shaped like a safety net for the team and a runway for the player. People saw the headline number and freaked out. Big money for a guy with bumps and bruises? But our front office didn't gamble. They engineered. They took the splashy top line and hid the real beauty inside the structure early years that barely rocked the cap. Smart switches they can flip later, and protections that reward availability. That's why the sticker shock fades once you see what hits the books now versus what lands later. The headline is 3 years, up to the kind of number that turns heads. But the year-to-year cap hits are kept friendly in the near term, right where we need breathing room to keep the core together and add finishing pieces when the window is wide open. That flexibility is everything. It's the difference between needing to cut good players, to pay a great one, and being able to pay a great one while building around him with grown man depth. And the reason it works is the toolbox inside the deal. Option bonuses they can spread over multiple seasons. Those paper years at the back that exist only to make the accounting smoother. And a guarantee schedule that doesn't handcuff the team if the worst-case scenario knocks on the door. You hear the phrase option bonus. A lot think of it like a plan restructure. The team can activate it when it makes the most sense, and once they do, they get to smear that number across future years so the cap hit today stays nice and light. That's how you keep space for extension season. You can push when you need to push, and you can hold when you need to hold. It's not kicking the can just to survive. It's moving dollars to the years when the league cap is bigger and your roster is older. The other piece is the per-game active. Money the classic get paid when you suit up setup. For a player who's electric when healthy but has missed time, that's perfect. If he plays, he earns. If he doesn't, those triggers stay off the books. It's accountability without drama. And it lines up with everything Dan Campbell preaches about availability being a skill. Then there are the rolling guarantees dates in March, where money locks in only if the team wants to keep riding. That's what we mean by exit ramps. If performance or health go sideways, Detroit isn't stuck on a bad path. They've got turns they can take without detonating the cap. If things go right, and that's the bet, they can keep the train rolling and everyone stays happy. Now zoom out to the big picture. Lowish cap hits now mean you can sit down with Aiden Hutchinson, Jahmyr Gibbs, Brian Branch, Sam Laporta, Jack Campbell, and keep that core intact without turning the budget into a horror movie. That's the compounding effect. One smart deal makes the next 5 possible. The better your young stars get, the more you need that breathing room. And the more you appreciate that the front office didn't chase headlines. They built options. And don't miss the timing. Doing this before a potentially explosive year is how you avoid paying career year tax. If Jameson stacks health with the deep ball threat we've already seen and adds polish to the root tree, this price ages like a classic car, prettier every season. If he levels off, the team isn't locked inside a vault with no key. Either way, the culture message is loud and clear. Detroit takes care of its own. Rewards growth, and still protects Sundays for the whole roster, not just one name on the jersey. That resonates in the locker room and in free agency. Players talk. Agents talk. They'll build with you, and they'll build around you is a powerful recruiting line. And scheme-wise, you can see why this matters. Ben Johnson doesn't need a Diva X who devours the offense. He needs a race car who stretches the field, scares safeties out of the box, and opens lanes for Gibbs and Laporta. When the post route pulls a corner and the seam holds a safety, the run game breathes and the play action becomes mean. With this deal, we keep that vertical threat at a number that still lets us pay trenches, keep a stable of backs fresh, and make sure Jared Goff has answers on third and medium. That's championship math. Some folks will say, all these buttons and levers just push the pain into the future. Not if you do it with a plan. The NFL cap grows. You use options when it helps, and you don't when it doesn't. Trap is when teams need to press every lever just to stand up. Detroit isn't living like that. We're pressing levers to attack. There's a difference between breathing through a straw and training at altitude. One keeps you alive, the other makes you stronger. And yes, there's risk. Wide receiver money across the league has gone haywire. Guaranteed cash for veterans who are already wearing miles can crush a roster. Detroit avoided that trap. This is the new blueprint for young talents with rocket potential and a few question marks. Pay upside, guard against downside, keep optionality. You're not pretending the risk isn't there. You're designing around it. It also sets a standard for how we handle the rest of the room. When it's time to talk to the next wave of stars, the pitch is simple. We'll pay you well, we'll protect the team, and we'll leave enough space to build something everyone wants to be part of. That's how the Chiefs stayed Chiefs. That's how the Niners stayed Niners. Grown-up cap rooms win trophies. Now, how does it feel from the fan seat? It feels like the opposite of the old days. No panic buys. No one guy in a bunch of holes. This is layers upon layers. Pass rushers who finish, offensive line that travels. Backs who punish, tight ends who punish, and a vertical receiver who makes defensive coordinators drink extra coffee on Thursday night. The contract doesn't score touchdowns by itself, but it loads the dice in your favor, week after week. And that's all we've ever wanted here. Smart, tough, and sustainable. Here's my take as a Lions fan who's seen the lean years and the letdowns. This is grown man business. It's not about winning Twitter. It's about winning possessions in the fourth quarter when weather turns and legs get heavy. We protected the cap, we protected the locker room, and we protected the window. If Jameson keeps trending up and the staff clearly believes he will, this thing reads like a masterpiece in 3 years. If he stalls, we've kept the exits clear. That's how you bet big and still sleep at night. What about you? Do you love the structure, or do the future buttons make you nervous? Would you copy-paste this model for Hutch, Laporta, and Gibbs? Or would you go more old school with bigger guarantees and fewer moving parts? Drop your thoughts below, because this fan base is smarter than the national shows give us credit for, and I want to hear where you land on this cap puzzle. And if you're riding with us through the whole season, share this with the Lions fan in your life who texts all caps on Sundays. The more voices in this community, the stronger we get together.